Heyo, it's me again. The wonder of the fucking world. I'm playing Gears of War 4. So, you have that to look forward to. Yeah, it's near enough brand new. I say brand new. It's been out 5 days. I've had it for a day. So, yeah. You'll play on normal. And as you can see, I've already started it. I've not finished it, but I've already started it. And if you think my voice sounds a bit funny, it's because I am slightly ill. I'm not very ill. I'm only slightly ill. I can still do everything fine. It's just my voice sounds like a piece of shit. But it's my final day off before I have to go back to work tomorrow. And Jesus Christ, Lily. And I wanted to record something. I've not recorded anything for a while. And we've got a lot of cutscene and that for a bit. So we'll watch this. Anywho. So because I've started my new job, which is full time, I'm not going to be recording as often. But because of where I'm staying while I'm working, I can record much longer videos. and upload them without splitting them up. So basically what you'll get is what we'll have is a lot less videos on the channel, but they'll be in however long I fucking want to, because I can upload any amount really. Basically at home, if I go longer than half an hour, then I'm here for days waiting for the upload. Where I'm going, half an hour will take half an hour to upload. So what I'll probably do is I'll play for as long as I bloody well want to. But yeah, so Gears of War 4. If you've watched any of my videos before, or even if you haven't, that suggestion bar will probably show you all the stuff that I've done. I quite like them. I don't love Gears of War, like I'm not a fan, but I enjoy them. And I've played every one. And from what I've played so far, it's kind of up and downing for me, Gears of War 4, whether or not I really like it or not. Because it's Gears of War. The gameplay is exactly the same, so if you like Gears of War, any of them, you're going to be quite happy. I mean, I wasn't all too thrilled with Gears of War Judgment's changes. I mean, I didn't hate them, but, you know, I didn't love them. Yes, here we get to see a few of the Pendulum ones. I think during my Gears of War Judgment Let's Play, me and Reese were talking about if they carried it on, we wouldn't mind just seeing a Let's Play, a game based solely around that. Now we don't get that. This is basically just like an interactive sort of gameplay element into like the history of the planet.
Way to go, Private. Keep pushing. Tower's just ahead.
You know, so yeah. It's not the whole game. It's just a flashback. The Gears of War 4 is set after Gears of War 3. But what they've done so far, which I'm happy about, is mostly they've just seems to have streamlined the standard gameplay, like that whole vaulting while sprinting and everything, which is just neat. And the okay, that's about it really. I mean, like the gunplay seems slightly better and everything, as you'd expect when it's essentially the first next gen, current gen, whatever, Gears of War, Xbox One Gears of War. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. Now, we'll see in a bit. I mean, you're gonna have some spoilers, but because it's like the humanity's coming back, basically, you know, like now that there's not being attacked all the time, technology's come a long way, and they've got a lot more robotics and that. So you fight some robot enemies, and I don't like them as much as the Locust. But luckily they're not the only enemy, so it's not awful. But I just genuinely don't care too much about fighting them. So that is a big problem, because that's quite a fair bit of the game is that. But if we're going by art style, I really like it. Like they haven't done what a lot of games do when it's a new company. Well, not a lot, but you know when a lot of games go, oh, we have to make like the best looking game we possibly can. They'll make the game just like hyper realistic, won't they? But this game, it looks pretty fucking good, but they've gone for making the game look exactly like the old Gears of War games, but you know, just looking better, which I appreciate. I think it's good. I don't know how far we'll get in this first recording. You know, I don't know how far before I get bored, but basically the prologue is split between 3 different sections. We have this, and actually I won't spoil it, but the first one is this, the Pendulum Wars, like a brief sort of thing on. Wait, is it split between 3 or 2?
Let's go.
No, it's 3. I remember now.
All right, you know the drill. Eliminate the guards, get inside the lab, grab the plans.
As you can tell, I know exactly what the fuck I'm doing because I've already played it. I don't like blind Let's Plays. The only games I've played blind are Assassin's Creed Liberation, which is probably one of the worst things I've ever done on my YouTube channel. I'm not getting rid of it, but
All right, we're in. Let's
for
go.
my commentary and the fact that I chose that fucking game,
Labs up ahead.
but it is the worst thing I've done. In my opinion, anyway.
Open up on 'em.
Telltale, which are fine, because Telltale is all about choices, so, and the gameplay isn't really that taxing or anything, so, or at all, actually, to be fair. So,
All right, we're in. Time to rendezvous with the main.
so, yeah, and, shit, what else? I think I've done something else blind. Oh yeah, technically, the other Gears of War, the one where they, what's it called? The HD remake of the first game. Was it like Gears of War Ultimate Edition, did they call it, or something? But yeah, technically that was blind, I hadn't played it before, but I played Gears of War 1 before, so you know. So the only bit of that was blind was the bit that I fucking did terribly at, and I didn't know what I was doing. So that kind of proves what I was just going to say in that. A lot of people love blind Let's Plays. Like, I actually watched a proper YouTuber that actually does it for a living, you know. This is me for fun, when I'm bored. But, I watch an actual YouTuber that does it for a living, or at least he gets some money for it. I don't think now that I think about it, I don't think he does it for a full living. I don't think he gets that much money for it, but he makes a good point that if you're a YouTuber, you've got to always play new games, which, I mean, to be fair, I am doing now, but I'm only doing it just because Gears of War are easy to play, and I already own it. So it's not going out my way. You've got to play it blind because that's what most people want to watch, which I don't get. I like watching it occasionally, but quite often it annoys me, you know, when people get stuck. And I know they can edit it out, but as the player, I find it annoying to be recording something when I know that, oh, I'm using up memory on my blah 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 blah. You know, I'm just not a big fan. And the other thing as well is that you've got to play it at a pace that is good for commentary. So say you're naturally good at doing 40 minutes of commentary a day, which is more than I can do anyway. I'll start slowing down, but I'll still play because I want to. You can only play 40 minutes a day because it's your job, so you've got to keep up the quality content. Or you'll lose subscribers, or not make as much as you need to. Like I said, the trouble is when it's people's jobs. And so that means you can't really have fun with a game because you've got to make that much a day. So either you're stuck between two things. You can't really keep stopping Let's Plays after a couple of parts because a lot of people, and I've done this with a lot of YouTubers, when they've started a game which I've enjoyed watching, but then they just go, oh, I don't want to play it anymore, and I'm there like, well, that's annoying because I don't intend on buying the game, or any reason. There's no. So anyway, so that can cost you, you know, stopping Let's Plays part way through. So you can't stop if you don't like it, and if you do like it, you can't play for as long as you are going to do, although it's going to suffer on your commentary, which is what people are watching it for, really, aren't they? So you're kind of on this fine line. So unless you've made your name on doing actual walkthroughs, or you just don't give a fuck, like you like your subscribers, but you're like, I'm not going to cater purely to you because I have my own life and I'm doing this for my entertainment. Like there are a lot of which I like, which I usually prefer, to be perfectly honest. You can't play games for fun, and this is why.
Control. Package is secure.
Cleaner, proceed to the beach for marlin extract.
You hear that?
I'm not too bothered about, because I got a message of someone the other day, and he went, "Wow, you've made so many videos," you know, and I've not really, like, it turned up, because it's all just been when I've had nothing to do, so it's hardly cost me anything, and it's all just for my own sanity. You've got this many videos and only, like, what, however many subscribers I've got. Shut up, Lil. Lily! Wait a sec, I've got to sort this out, I apologise. And I'm not editing that out. Because I don't have to. And this is the beauty of me doing what the fuck I want to do. If you hear the dogs now, they're trying to appease me. They're both here like going, "Love me, Asa, love me. I'm not really a bad dog." Anywho. I forgot what I was saying. That thing that you can't play a game... Anyway, go back to where I think I definitely know where I got to. You can't play good games at a pace you want to, because that's not how good you can, like, how long you can talk well. And at the same time, you can't not play the bad games because people still expect you to play them because it's your job. That's what I'm going at. I mean, it's a minor thing. I mean, as far as job goes, people do shit jobs all the time. I mean, I actually really like my new job. Actually, it's not really that. It's not shit at all, to be honest. But you know what I mean. It isn't. I wouldn't call it the most fantastic job ever, but it is enjoyable, which is very good. It basically, I'm going to say, if you don't hate your job, you're doing alright. But this is why life isn't that impressive. You know, loads of people are there like, "Oh, I love life so much," and I'm just there like, it's alright. I honestly don't want to die, but at the same time, I'm happy that I will not live forever. Because Jesus Christ, I mean, life is irritating enough when we only have like an average of, what, 60 to 80 year lifespans. So, like, I'm happy with my life enough to be I'm glad that our lifespan doesn't go to only about 20 like it did like 100 and something years ago. But I'm glad that it's still finitely, like, kind of below 100 for 99% of the population. Because Jesus Christ, I don't think I can handle it. I'm basically a mental wreck a lot of the time. It's a weird thing. Like, when I'm around people, everyone goes, "I'm such a happy guy," because I'm really good at talking to people. As well, from what people have told me anyway. I mean, I don't think I am, but loads of people say I'm good, so I'll take their word for it because they're the people I'm talking to. And I'm such a happy person, but when I'm on my own, I will just sort of break myself slightly, quite often. And to that end, you could think like, surely then you should just constantly, maybe I should. I can't hurt this thing, by the way, so I'm not going to waste the ammo. And I think maybe you should try to find a relationship, which I've kind of avoided for the past however many years I've been alive for, 22. But I can't imagine anything worth easier than one is somebody laughing at my bloody terrible speech half the time, but the other time is for saying how oddly miserable I can be on my own. If I don't want to be with other people, I'm even fucking worse. Like, I'll get asked by, like, my family sometimes, like, "Oh, why don't you want to spend time with us?" And they're like, "Because I don't, and there's nothing else around this, and it won't change, and Jesus Christ, please leave me alone." And there's no reason for it, I'm just a piece of shit, but how do I get onto this anyway? Oh yeah, how as long as you don't hate your job, life can be bearable. Someone asked me, I think once, and they were like really like depressed by my response, and somebody said like, "What's the best thing?" Like, I said something. I think I said something disparaging about just sort of living, and I was there like, "Yeah, it's alright." And I can't remember what I said. This was years ago, but basically it ended in me saying, like, basically what my opinion on just life for everyone was, and I was like, "Hey, it's something to do before you die, isn't it?" And so I was like, "Well, that's pretty like a sort of oddly depressing thing to say. I'm like, well, it's true, isn't it?
I've got the code for the door.
But at the same time, it's like when somebody says, when I moan all the fucking time, and if somebody does see me in the mood and they go, well, why wouldn't you kill yourself then if you are this bloody mopey? And I'm there like, well, there's no point. I'm going to die one day. This is why I don't get suicide.
Oh man, this is bad.
All right, you heard the corporal. Don't let him inside.
They're coming right at us. Use the hammer.
Because you're going to die anyway. There's no real way around it. Why would you bother?
We need some goddamn.
But at the same time, suicidal things is one of them things which I genuinely don't really care about. You know, these people that always are like, we have to save the suicidal. And to be fair, there's a lot of people that, with help,
This is insane.
can be helped. From suicidal tendencies. But
What is that thing?
there's genuine people that just can't be helped, and I don't see what's wrong with letting them do what they want to do. And it's just one of them things which I don't see why it's such a big deal. When I get why family don't want it to happen. That's it. But random fuckers who it has nothing to do with, and then they're like, take it upon themselves. Like, we have to make everyone want to live, and it's like, well, just not everyone will. Some people will. Oh god. Some people just won't want to. It's just something that you can't change. Do you know what I mean?
I'm sorry, but the Hammer of Dawn just went offline.
By nightfall, hundreds of thousands were dead. Emergence Day had earned.
So anyway, we've done just before. Well, we've done just before the start of the Locust invasion, just at the start of the Locust invasion, and just to spoil it, we're going to do just at the end of the Locust invasion. So it's basically, this is in essence just a recap of what the previous Gears games were about. I don't know why you're shouting for the Queen though, because for the Queen is already dead.
I know you're medics, but we need everyone on that wall now.
I'm sorry about my coughing, but like I said, I'm ill, so
Soldier back on his feet.
yeah.
Walk it up. All right,
Anywho.
Gears, get up that ladder.
Anyway, so I've covered job,
Where the hell am I? Found ammo.
suicide. These are things that I will talk about often. There's not much else to go about, really, is there, at the minute?
Get on that wall.
I don't know, if anyone watching and they're just going, what's your new job? I'll talk about that after I've readjusted my mic. I have started my... I won't talk about it because there's legal applications about what I'm allowed to talk about, so, you know, we'll stop there. But, I have started my job. I'm allowed to say my job, because otherwise that's absolute bullshit. Working in the, in a hospital. And I have started an apprenticeship. And if you thought like, well, you wouldn't want an apprentice in a hospital where it's people's lives on the line, oh, you'd be wrong. There's loads of apprenticeships going in the hospital I'm working at. But so I'm working. It's basically right at the bottom. So at the minute, it's basically like the HCA level, but the point is to work your way up to as high as you can go. Do you know what I mean? So I do a year of this, and then after this, I discuss my near the end of my year, I'll discuss my options about what training I'd like to do after I finish essentially my first set of apprenticeship, if you know what I mean. Fucking hell, my voice. But if you're curious about where exactly I am, my apprenticeship is in theatres. And if you're going musicals, what the fuck? You're an idiot. And it is, because when I said theatres, a lot of my friends went, "Oh, do what? Who the fuck doesn't know that theatres aren't where bloody surgeries take place?" Just really, who the fuck doesn't know that when someone goes on, I'm starting my job at the hospital, I'm working in theatres. Who the fuck goes, "Oh, you're acting? You're a fucking retard." And I'm gonna say, a lot of my friends were like, "You say what?" I get maybe being a bit unsure. Oh, good God. Hoffman, you're a fucking idiot. I get maybe being a bit unsure. I was going, But, well, I say I get. I mean, I still think you're a bit of a plonker, but... But who the fuck would think that you'd start a job in a hospital as a fucking, like, you know, acting in the fucking theatre? You know, so even if you weren't entirely sure where it was, and I'm almost certain that I'm going to say that everyone should, because you are very likely to end up in needing surgery of some kind. So anyway, I'm working in one of the theatres at the hospital where I'm working. And so far, like, my first 2 weeks are on the ward, and then after my second induction, I'll be doing another 2 weeks on the in the theatres in the operating room. And then I basically rotate between those two over the year.
But against all odds, a brave group of soldiers led by Marcus Phoenix.
But I've already, even though I've only done a week of that, because I've been at my job for 2 weeks, but the first week was an induction, so it wasn't really work. It was getting ready for work, if you know what I mean. So even though I only did a week, on my final day of my first week of work, I
Sergeant Phoenix could be with us here today.
got to go for a couple of minor surgeries in theatre, and it was really cool because there's a lot to do. But like I say, I won't really talk too much about it because I don't know what I can really talk about. It's, you know, it's cool. And I've not really had any real boring spells at work. Like, there may have been, like, because I do like 10-hour shifts, which may be long, but it means I'm home for 3 days a week, so I'm okay with it. But even at the 10-hour shifts, which is a very fucking long time, I only really usually get like bored for like an hour of the day, which is usually the quietest. But then like for the other 9 hours, I'm absolutely fine. So I'm happy with it. I'm not sure now. I've been railing and ranting. I've been saying I can record for an hour, but I'm not sure if to just leave each chapter as a recording session. And as that was the prologue, and this is the start of chapter 1 after this cutscene, it's just end it now.
It destroys and rebuilds itself, changing its color, its shape. It gets wings, claws. It slashes its way out of its cage, and then it's new and beautiful.
You shouldn't have come.
Save your breath, JD. That one, she's a mother's daughter.
She really is.
I really am.
It's just convenient, if you know what I mean. Because then it just means I know kind of a cutting off point when to stop playing.
Now we're about to raid one. Is that ironic? Technically, no.
Raiding is what outsiders do. Until you two showed up. Now, boring.
Better bored than dead, old man.
There's a difference.
Yeah, I will. I think.
No alarm. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we're not gonna be bored. Dead, on the other hand.
That's not the security alarm.
So next time, you'll be able to see one of my main problems with this game. In fact, it's probably the only problem I have with this game. And that is the fact that a lot of your enemies that you're fighting are robotic enemies. In fact, where I've got to in the game, and I'm partway through Chapter 2, it is only robotic enemies that you're fighting in the game. Now, I know there are more, because of the, like in cutscene stuff and that you've seen other stuff. But so far, I have not been able to see any bit more. And that's music playing. I don't know. As we're going to stop in a minute though, I'll say thanks for watching, etc, etc, etc. Love you kindly, and do what you will about liking and subscribing and whatnot. As far as like a schedule goes, I don't have one, but what I'll be doing is, like I said, I'll just be recording once or twice a week, and I'll just upload everything I've recorded. So, like, this is 26 minutes. Instead of splitting it into 2 parts like I would have done before, it's just going to be a 26 half-an-hour video. But yeah, I'll end that on the start. If you do want to watch more, and somebody, you know, if you tell me you want it, I'll probably be more likely to do it after work rather than wait until a day off, because I've got a couple of days where I finish at 6 o'clock instead of 8 o'clock at night. So that gives me a time to at least do a half hour. So yeah, but whatever. Thanks for watching, and goodbye, and all that glorious stuff, and love and harmony and blah 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 blah. Bye.